Hello, everyone. Today, our group will be presenting Case 19, the ER that became the emergency. This case focuses on how a hospital's emergency department reached a critical breaking point due to rising patient volumes, staffing shortages, and system inefficiencies. What began as a faculty meant to save lives turned into a crisis of its own, affecting patients, providers, and the broader community. Through our analysis, we'll explore the key challenges, identify the stakeholders involved, and discuss strategies that could have prevented or improved the situation. Thank you, and this is by Ariana, Kayla, Taylor, and Samantha. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ariana Milton, and I will be doing an overview of Case 19. Community Memorial Hospital has seen a surge of indigent patients or low-income patients who cannot pay, who were diverted from City Hospital. City Hospital is a 600-bed public teaching hospital and receives $550 in subsidies for each indigent patient. In contrast, Community Memorial Hospital only receives $100 per patient under EMTALA obligations, which requires them to provide care no matter a patient's ability to pay. Other hospitals in the region have refused to accept additional indigent patients, so Community Memorial Hospital has been left to shoulder this burden almost alone. As a result, the hospital is losing money every month. This puts CEO Ralph Peterson in a very difficult position with risk of bankruptcy, declining quality care, reputational damage, and growing political barriers. To this, Community Memorial Hospital has also experienced a significant increase in emergency room visits. At first, this trend was thought to be the result of successful marketing efforts, but deeper analysis showed the real issue was the diversion of patients from neighboring hospitals. This growth has created several serious problems. One of the most urgent is the financial crisis. The hospital is facing projected losses of $70,000 to $80,000 every month. Much of this is due to indigent or uninsured patients who cannot pay for the services they receive, leaving Community Memorial Hospital to absorb uncompensated care. At the same time, Community Memorial Hospital must comply with its ethical and legal obligations under the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, or EMTALA. This law requires hospitals to provide emergency medical care to anyone in need, regardless of their ability to pay. While this supports Community Memorial Hospital's mission of equal care, it adds even more strain to the hospital's limited financial and staffing resources.
For Case 19, the ER that became the emergency, it's important to understand the key stakeholders. Patients have high interest but low influence. They impact legal obligations and revenue. Providers have high interest and influence. They are essential for changes but face burnout. Policymakers hold high influence through funding and coordination. Other hospitals have influence but low interest, and their division practices worsen CMH's crisis. Community stakeholders are moderately invested since CMH affects care and jobs. And hospital CEOs have high influence but low interest. If aligned, they could help stabilize CMH. Thank you.
When we look at the overall case environment, it's clear Community Memorial Hospital is caught in a complex web of challenges. Financially, they are experiencing significant losses. Legally, they are bound to EMTALA to treat all patients, so they can't refuse or divert care. Politically, funding for indigent patients is locked into City Hospital by a voter-approved referendum, which makes changing policies very difficult. Competitively, other hospitals are unwilling to share the responsibility, isolating Community Memorial Hospital even further, and from a public relations standpoint, refusing care could harm their reputation and draw negative media attention. Together, these factors create a high-stakes environment with very limited options.
Political feasibility. Community Hospital is taking steps on outlining the political feasibility to adhere to public advocacy, redistribution of subsidies, and public pressure, and promoting fairness and equity amongst the communities. To encourage the public to understand the current state of CMH and the unequal funding subsidies that City Hospital is receiving, it is important to take into consideration their opinions and how it may affect the overall decision of the city officials and the mayor. CMH is not looking to gain any special treatment from this, but it is looking for an opportunity to promote fairness and equity amongst all hospitals within the communities when treating low-income patients. As we know, City Hospital will disapprove of redistributing the subsidies of $550 per Indigenous patient. However, CMH is struggling financially to support and serve these patients. Also, other hospitals will likely support CMH if we sway the public opinion in our favor. We know that the possibility of public pressure could affect the overall opinions and stance of city officials and the mayor. So we want to make sure that we are outlining our effort and our fairness, that we are treating these patients all equally.
In this slide, we will talk about internal environment. Inside the hospital, they have been experiencing several challenges. The hospital is often short-staffed during peak times, which has, one, caused a delay in patient care, and for two, has caused burnout within the staff. Most patients are uninsured or are using Medicaid, which means CMH is getting paid less on those visits. There's also been some leadership tension between Douglas and Mueller. Douglas is more focused on the finances, while Mueller is more focused on community care. They also have poor ways of tracking data, and the ER is very overcrowded, which makes it harder to care for patients in a timely manner. In this slide, we will talk about external environment. CMH has been dealing with several challenges from outside of the hospital as well. The city leaders haven't came up with a plan yet to work on these financial issues, which has slowed down the mayor's response to this issue. By law, CMH is required to treat every patient that comes through those doors, even if they are unable to pay, which has led to about $70,000 to $80,000 of financial losses monthly. On top of that, patients are also using the ER for routine care, especially those with chronic conditions with no regular doctor.
To navigate this crisis, outreach and leadership are critical. Most of the public is unaware of Community Memorial Hospital's financial challenges, so the hospital needs to build awareness and support. Outreach strategies could include hosting community forums, partnering with local nonprofits, and using the media to communicate openly about their situation. By doing so, Community Memorial Hospital can build trust, attract allies, and even gain access to grant opportunities. Strong leadership is also key. CEO Ralph Peterson needs to guide staff through uncertainty, keep morale high, and collaborate with both political leaders and other hospitals. His ability to communicate clearly and act strategically will determine how well Community Memorial Hospital can adapt. Another major dimension of this case is human resources, management, and ethics. Staff are stretched thin by the increase in patient volume, and this creates a real risk of burnout. Management must figure out how to balance the hospital's financial survival with the legal obligation to provide care. Clear communication and operational efficiency will be essential to maintaining trust and performance. Ethically, the hospital faces a dilemma. On one hand, it has a responsibility to provide equal care to low-income patients. On the other hand, it must also protect the long-term sustainability of the hospital and its staff. This balance is central to Community Memorial Hospital's future.
CMH must act, and our preferred solutions are outlined below. Our preferred solution would include negotiating with the city on fair funding, and that would be equivalent to $550 per visit per Indigenous patient that cannot afford our services, as City Hospital is already receiving this fund. We would also like to launch a public advocacy campaign and outline that we are the safety net provider. CMH can no longer carry this burden alone. We will rally with community stakeholders such as churches, nonprofits, civic leaders to pressure the city commissioners for fair and timely support. At the same time, we will make internal adjustments such as optimizing ER staff during peak hours, all while staying within budget. In addition to our preferred solutions, we also have our alternative solutions to back us. We would like to form community partnerships to open clinics in underserved areas and potentially opening our own urgent care facility connected to CMH to reduce ER strain long term. We will also pursue policy amendments to ensure accountability among hospitals receiving city funds, and if necessary, we will consider legal action under EMTALA for unfair patient diversion. Lastly, we'll seek grant funding and financial aid programs to better support care for those who need it the most.
So when we take a look at CMH's overall situation here, here's a few key takeaways. Some of the hospital strengths include being a trusted hospital within a community with a mission to serve all patients no matter what type of insurance they have or if they are uninsured. But those missions are also creating challenges within CMH. CMH is losing up to $80,000 monthly from patients who cannot afford to pay. It is causing burnout within the staff because the ER is overcrowded and it's a staff shortage. And they also fall short when it comes to proper data tracking in real time. There are still some opportunities though. They could work on building relationships with other hospitals and clinics within the community. So maybe they could send some of those patients there. They could apply for additional funding. They can apply for emergency funding. And they can improve the way that the ER operation is ran so that it is more organized. If those things don't happen soon, there are some threats that could lead to hospital closure, limited support from the city, and negative attention from the press and the public.
To conclude, Community Memorial Hospital's mission to promoting fair funding amongst all hospitals to combat the financial burden that CMH is experiencing for unpaid services that are being provided to low-income patients that are unable to pay for services. It is important to follow through with our action plan to better outline and combat this ongoing issue by partnering with City Hospital, applying for emergency funding, improving the overall operations in the hospital, and promoting public advocacy and distribution of subsidies that are equally funded. It is important that we outline the internal and external environments as well as the overall management, leadership, and outreach and ethics that are proposed.